What's poppin', guys? Hope everybody out there is having a blessed day, having a great day. Thanks for all the new support. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Really appreciate you guys. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everybody tuning in, man. But today, this was one of the hardest parts about my spiritual journey, my self-improvement journey, my semen retention journey. I'm grouping those all into one thing because it all is one thing, guys. So, becoming alone, losing people in your life, losing friends, and in today's video I'm actually going to talk about how this is actually a catalyst that I feel the universe uses to actually grow the love within yourself more. And many people, me included, when this happens, this is actually considered part of the dark night of the soul in spiritual journey. Many people go through this once they become aware. The dark night of the soul is they become aware of how they've been mistreating themselves. They become aware of the ability to create your own reality in this matrix. And they start fleshing out a lot of issues that they had. They start going through difficult transitional periods where it's really hard. And you know, as I go on my journey, I realize that, you know, many things transitionally are hard to accomplish. So this does not happen overnight, the dark night of the soul. You guys may be experiencing this over time, ups and downs. But anyway, guys, specifically we're talking about becoming alone. So you'll realize that as you go on your journey, you know, specifically semen retention, you start to elevate. You start to care less about low vibrational activities. You start to care less about bullshit that everybody else cares about. I could give less of a damn about sports half the time these days. Sometimes it's still enjoyable, but you get the message is that the general population is plugged into garbage. They're plugged into bullshit. They're plugged into TV. All the conversations is movie, TV. Oh, Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith. Nobody gives a shit, okay? Nobody in their right mind gives a shit about that. And you'll start to disconnect from people like that because you realize that, wow, these conversations we're having don't mean anything to me. I always leave hanging out with this person feeling like shit. I never feel good. I never feel like our conversation was very productive. And I'm not saying that every single conversation needs to be productive, but get some value out of the people in your life. You know what I'm saying? Okay, guys? So, really, here's the crucial turning point for me is because when I lost people in my life, when either they chose to separate themselves or I chose to cut them off, I started to feel bad about it. If you are empathetic, an empathetic person, if you are an empath, here is an empath for you guys. If you're able to really pick up on someone's energy very quickly, if you're able to read the room as soon as you walk in, if you're able to realize that there's a good vibration in a room or there's not a good vibration in a room, and you're just very easily able to pick up on energies, / also you get easily manipulated by people's bad energy or people's good energy, you are an empath. And if you are an empath, this will be increasingly more difficult for you to deal with, which I consider myself an empath. I consider myself able to pick up on energies. I consider myself very spiritually in tune, okay? And, you know, I got this knowledge over time. I've always felt this way, but, you know, astrology just kind of amplified my understanding of, you know, intuition and spiritual being able to pick up on energies quicker, okay, guys? So anyway, that's another topic. But guys, you'll realize it's very hard to cut people off if you're an empath. It's very hard for you. You'll feel shitty about it. I felt so shitty about it for so long. Specifically more so the losing of the friends, but I still felt shitty about cutting other friends off. But guys, you have to realize that this is actually a lesson that the universe sends to you that is actually one of the most beautiful lessons that I have encountered. So, guys, once you become alone, likely when you become alone, you're going to start doing shit to maybe distract yourself from the fact that you're alone. If you're very early in your spiritual transitional journey, if you have kind of just become awoken and are starting semen retention or starting taking care of yourself, starting new habits, trying to get better, guys, because most people are not trying to get all that much better, okay? Maybe they are with their money, maybe they are with their career, but God knows that most people are not trying to spiritually elevate. They don't even know what that is, okay, guys? That's just the truth of today's reality. But, guys, and so, guys, as you're going through your transitional phase, you're starting on your spiritual journey, what I did was I tried to escape. I tried to distract myself from the fact that I was losing friends. I tried to distract myself from the fact that I was losing girlfriends. I tried to distract myself from my actual current reality, and I started to fall into habits that were not good for me, guys. I was drinking, not to a crazy amount, but on the weekends I would drink, and I would drink a little more than probably was necessary, guys. Or I would smoke a little more than was necessary, guys. Or, I would play video games for too long, or I would watch TV for too long. And I think that, that is a natural coping mechanism. It's nothing wrong with that at the time. You just have to become aware of the fact that you're doing that to yourself. And slowly over time, I started to become aware of the fact that I was doing that. I was distracting myself. And I listened to more teachers. And as I learned more and more, I'm like, man, I gotta start finding things to do that I love to do with myself. And once I took that step, and I hope that someone is hearing this message that needs to hear this, because this is an important one. Once I took that step of true self-discovery and said, wow, I need to go do things that I love to do, that can fill my time, that can make me happy. Because my whole life, and likely your whole life, you're doing a lot of things to either distract yourself or you're doing what other people want to do. You're going out to drink because other people think it's cool and you think it's cool, so you're just a part of the group. Or you're going out to smoke because other people think it blah, blah, blah. Maybe it makes you feel good, But at the end of the day, you're escaping your reality in some way. So I started to become aware of this. And I started to find things that I love to do. Guys, you have to sit with yourself. This is another thing, a part of becoming alone. After, likely, you will go through the distraction period. Guys, if you can just become aware of this distraction period and realize, man, let me just sit with myself. Let me just enjoy the little moment. Let me just do absolutely nothing. Guys, this is what you need to do. Sit with yourself and breathe. And you don't even have to close your eyes. Just let your mind run. Let your mind think of everything that maybe you're mad at yourself about, you're embarrassed about, you're trying to escape. Let your mind run of all the things that happened to you in the day. Let your mind run of everything that's going on in your life and just let it go. And just sit there and just be. Guys, once you have decompressed, letting your mind run, letting everything out, thinking of all the shit maybe that you're dealing with, let it all run. And as you sit there, you likely will want to keep distracting yourself. You'll start thinking about some certain thing and you're like, damn man, I fucked up right there. Let me just look at my phone real quick. That's likely what you're going to do, guys. Especially if you're reliant on dopamine, which everyone in today's society is reliant on dopamine to a certain extent. Just break the habit, okay? And don't distract yourself for a little bit. And start asking yourself and thinking, well, now that I'm alone, now that I have this full day where nothing is distracting me, likely this might be a weekend. I've got no class. I've got no job. I've got nothing to go to today. What am I going to do with myself? Ask yourself that after you've decompressed. And guys, answers will be given to you. You will start thinking and you will start saying, well, what do I like to do? And some of you might say, well, let me go play some video games to distract myself some more. Or let me go watch TV to distract myself some more. Try your best to get away from distractions from yourself. Go into nature, guys. Go into the gym, guys. Go play a sport that you love. Think of anything that you love. Take a journal and write down how you're feeling. Read a book and engulf yourself in that book. Engulf yourself fully. Try and be able to focus your attention on that book for as long as possible. And you have to realize is that semen retention, this is especially true with semen retention. Your sharpness will be heightened. Your focus will be heightened. You'll be able to tune into things better. And I feel that if you're on a decent semen retention streak and you ask yourself, oh, and I've decompressed, and you ask yourself, what should I do? God's going to send you a message. Powers are at play that will send you a message of, man, what should I do? And whatever comes to head that is not dopamine related, that's what you should go do. And likely, guys, whatever you go and do, you might receive a beautiful message through doing that. You might receive a beautiful download through the universe. You might receive someone who is there, that is waiting for you to meet, that you just hadn't met. Listen to yourself in these moments, guys, and you will realize that being alone is beautiful. And you will slowly start falling in love with yourself. You will slowly stop distracting yourself from yourself because you love it. You love this this vehicle. And you go and do these amazing things. You go and meet these amazing people. You go and have the time of your life. All of a sudden you start wanting to step in front of the camera and tell other people about it, like me. You see what I'm saying, guys? So, learn to be alone. Follow that path. Do not distract yourself from yourself. And realize that a love is within you that you always knew was there intuitively. You just never unlocked that door. Guys, I hope this message resonates, man, because the dark night of the soul can be very difficult. And for some people out there, you probably just want to forget that you ever woke up in this matrix. Forget that you ever stumbled across this information on YouTube. Forget that you ever all of a sudden become aware of what's going on. But you have to take the steps forward to upgrade. You have to elevate yourself. And eventually you'll get to a point where you fall in love with yourself. And life will be 10 times as beautiful as you had imagined back in the day when you were sleeping. When you were sleeping and you had no idea about any of this. So I hope this message can help you guys. The dark night of the soul can be hard. Comment below if you've had any dark night of the soul experiences. Comment below. I'm fresh woken up from a nap, so maybe my energy is not as crazy high, but I felt like this message had to be delivered. Guys, I hope you have a great day, okay? Peace, love, light through the screen. Let's keep elevating.